Hi guys, and happy Sunday, as well as happy leftover new moon energy today. So today we start off by talking about the amazing sale that we have going on in the shop. So if you haven't been there, we do have a shop for the last 24 years, and it is www.lightwitchtarotshop.com. Here is where you can go and schedule your readings and get your candles. All of our candles are organic. They don't have any scents. They don't have any chemicals. They're just energy and ritual candles. And we have a flash sale going on right now. With code TAROT, you get 12% off your readings. With code FALL, you get 30% off any workshop, and with code FIRE you get 22% off any ritual candles. So right now we are literally just working a lot with Sowen ancestors, so go in there and check it out. We've also brought decks. Now we're offering a lot of different decks. We did launch the decks last week. They did sell out in about a few hours or so. I believe there's one or two oracles left. But we're going to be bringing back more decks this coming Wednesday. So if you missed out, don't fret. There will be more decks added. I believe around 10 new decks added this coming week. Now the deck that we're using today is called the Ancestral Path. I love this deck. I've been bringing decks like this to the shop, giving a voice to those decks that I've worked with for decades that may not be the most popular, but they really do speak, especially intuitive. So today we're working with the Ancestral Path Tarot by Julie Kushia Watts. Hopefully I said that correctly. Now when we talk about the hair talk, today we see my hair is straight. I did wash it last Tuesday. Today is Sunday. So it's holding on to its last hurrah. I did try an amazing dry shampoo today from IGQ, the charcoal one, and let me tell you, I think I could pull this off for at least 2 to 3 more days, right? And I've just been giving my hair a rest. It's been wet and it's been just humid, and I have that kind of curl that if I go outside and it's wet and humid, my hair will literally get wet and humid, which then equals to a frizz ball. Today I also did something new. I was practicing the cat eye. Obviously it's not the perfect one, but I did use the Benefit, I think it's the Benefit liquid pencil. It's like a little thin thing, and I did it before I drank coffee, so my shaky hands were not that bad, so I'm trying it out. So I've been playing a lot lately with different makeup. I've been playing around lately with different hairstyles, just kind of getting myself ready for fall and winter, because you guys know that I just don't like the cold, so I like to change it up a little bit. So today we are taking a look at the energy for September 29th all the way to October 6th. We're going to start with the tarot, and then we're going to move on to take a look at the cosmic energy. Now that we've talked and I've talked your ear off, let's go ahead and begin. So as you can see, the deck is pretty big. So if you have smaller hands, it's better off to break it in two. My hands are not so small. I am just not, even though I've been doing readings for 20-something years, I've never, ever been the greatest shuffler. But I always tell people, when they ask me, how do you shuffle your deck? I always say, just follow your own energy. It's the way that you shuffle a deck doesn't really matter. It's the energy that you put into it. So we're going to start with Monday, Tuesday, and then we're going to move on with Wednesday, Thursday, and then we're going to end up next weekend. So let's go ahead and one more shuffle, put the cards down, and grab our first one. So the first one that we have is the Prince of Staffs. Now, when we see the Prince of Staffs, he is someone that, if you could see in the pictures, there's so much detail in this picture, in his face, with everything going on. When we see the Prince of Staffs, he is ready for an adventure. He is ready to go. He may have a little bit of self-doubt going on there, but what we're seeing the energy here is to get it together and really move on. The Prince of Staffs is represented by Horus, and basically what we see here is allow yourself to be excited with new experiences. Allow yourself to be excited with daydreaming, right? Because a lot of these daydreams are actually kind of your energy guiding you to where you should be. So what we see here for Monday, Tuesday, you definitely want to stay centered. You may be feeling a little bit of struggle, but we're not talking about a physical struggle. We are talking more of a spiritual struggle. So anytime that we see our energy struggling like that, it is an indication of a transition. So you may be transitioning. You may be in what we call the crossroads, right? So what we see here is being gentle with yourself while you're going through transition. Another thing about the Prince of Staffs is basically using the fire of the soul to guide you. So your passion, what feels good for you. Instead of going so much with routine, we follow this routine, and routine is amazing until it starts feeling heavy, until it starts making us almost feel like we're fortune tellers and knowing exactly what we're doing. If you find yourself a little bit bored on Monday, Tuesday, get yourself out of the routine. Find a different way. Find something different to bring into your life. But definitely allow your passion to be part of the energy that's guiding you. Not just Monday, Tuesday, but every day. Now, the next one that we see is the Five of Cups. So what we see with the Five of Cups, it's almost like there was some kind of disagreement. And as you can see, the Maiden is in the center, and she's kind of getting this guy to go, right? And this guy seems really upset, and his cup obviously is spilled. So what we see here is staying away from anybody who may be trying to start conflict with you. This is a very important card, and it goes very well with the energy of Monday, Tuesday, because basically if you're going through transition but you're putting your energy where it shouldn't go, you're exhausting yourself. So this is literally being able to help people but not taking on their burdens. If it's not your fight, you definitely don't want to make yourself part of that. If you're dealing with someone who's constantly bringing drama or just constantly wants to start conflict, this is a card that says, kind of measure the situation, but it's much better to walk away. You don't want to be feeling like your hands are tied or disappointed. A lot of times healers, we want to help the world, we want to help everyone heal, but it's not up to us, it's up to the other person, right? So basically what we see here is trying to just stay centered and staying away from people with that kind of energy, because you don't want to lower your vibrations in the middle of a transition. You may feel a little bit of emotionally confused these 2 days, which is perfectly well with the cosmos, and you'll see that in a second. So staying grounded and staying shielded. So honestly, working with selenite and black tourmaline and rose quartz, because we want to avoid our energies to drop, right? So after Wednesday, Thursday, when we head to the weekend, what we're seeing is the Seven of Sacred Circles. Now, when we see the Seven of Sacred Circles, this is expecting some kind of reward. A lot of times when we work with intent, the biggest key of working with intent or working with ritual or working with manifesting, it's not just me in the altar lighting my candles and putting the energy out there, but it's also what follows. And a lot of times we will do a ritual and then we're just like, when am I going to see it happening? When is this going to happen? And then with time, we start getting doubtful. And that doubt right there could actually be what breaks that energy that you sent out there. A big part of setting intent is being patient, right, until it happens, but also working with affirmations to remind the universe of what you want. So seeing this, there is a reward headed your way. You've come way too far to give up now. So let's say you're working on something, you're not seeing fruition. Just chill out, to just give it more time. You've come way too far to quit right now, right? So also this is the card that tells you if you need help, ask for help. I know we don't like to ask for help, and when we do, we end up doing it ourselves. But this is a card that reminds you, you cannot do everything on your own. You can. Don't get me wrong. You can. But then when are you going to have the balance between doing all of these things and actually having time for yourself? So I like this card. It kind of puts us back in our place. Now, when we take a look at the Cosmo energy for September 30th to October 6th, this week's agenda includes two sign changes, a change of direction and an opposition, and a square. So Venus starts things off late Monday, September 30th, when it squares Pluto for the last time this year. Now, this conflict signals a time when your relationship and your bank accounts may be challenged by power and control issues, but there are no worries if they're grounded. In other words, Monday, Tuesday, do not, especially Monday, do not allow yourself to become overly worried. And this is something we all do. You know, if your finances have been up and down, or your relationship, and Monday is not the day to become wanting to control things, right? Now, when we take a look at Wednesday, October 2nd, Pluto gains strength when it ends its 5-month retrograde period. Now that Pluto is back online, it's time to stop reassessing your deepest desire and start acting on them. So this is why we start the week with the push of, daydream, but get it done, right? So it's time to stop daydreaming and really get these things going. If it feels right for you, then it is for you. Now, there are two more significant sign changes the next day on Thursday, October 3rd, that can have an effect on your actions and your style of communication. Now, the first is when Mercury enters Scorpio. Well, it will stay not for the usual 3 weeks, but for 9 weeks. Now, this extended tour in Scorpio is due to its retrograde in November. Now, during the sun, right, which will be November 11th, while Mercury is in Scorpio, the style of communication is deeper, edgier, and more intense. So Mars enters Libra that same day, but that's a different story because Libra is a place where the assertiveness of Mars is weakened. So this is actually good news. Libra is so focused on all things being equal that while Mars is visiting the sign of the scales, it makes it harder to channel your warrior energy and ready yourself to storm the gates. So Mars will be making nice instead of war until the middle of November. So the thinking process, it will speed up where Mercury opposes Uranus for the only time late Sunday, October 6th. The only opposition between these two planets this year may cause temporary tensions and anxiety or be an occasional for a bout of genius. Either way, patience and self-discipline will be in short supply. So this is why we're seeing in the cards for this week to definitely stay grounded. And like I said, it's going to be another week of either working with black tourmaline, selenite, some rose quartz, or even what I'm gonna do this week is using smoky citrine, the Congo citrine, and the Zambia citrine along everything else, just to really feel grounded. Like I said, on this whole week, just try to avoid energies that are arrogant, try to avoid people that want to control you in one way or another, but also being very careful with us wanting to control the situations around us, right? So hopefully we're all going to have an amazing week, which we will. We're going to make it amazing, and I will see you all again next weekend. So lots of love and light to you all. Love you, and blessed be. Bye-bye.